So you want to know the pros and the cons of living in the great state of Utah. Well, we relocated to Utah about 2 years ago and we absolutely love it. So I'm going to give you the pros and the cons and let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Salt Lake City channel. So, if you want to learn everything about what it's like to live here in the Salt Lake City area, then click the subscribe button so that you can get notified every time I do new videos. Lately, I've been getting a ton of people reaching out about making that move here to Utah, whether that's to northern Utah, to the Salt Lake City Provo area, to Moab, or even down to Huracan and St. George. So I can help you in all those areas. All you got to do is reach out to me. So give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Now on to the pros and the cons. Con number one, and that's our high housing costs here in the state of Utah. The average rent right now in the state of Utah runs somewhere right around $1,795 a month. There's something of like 4,900 rentals that are currently available. So there's a ton of rental options available. That's all over the state. The average home price in the state of Utah is running right around $510,000. So it's really going to depend on which part of Utah, how much it's going to cost to live. You can do definitely less than that, and for sure you can do more than that. I think we have a $50 million mansion right now. So it really just depends on which part of Utah you decide, and that's something that we would talk about if you're looking at different areas of Utah. They all have their pluses and minuses to living in them. So really it just is going to depend upon where you're moving from, how affordable the home prices are going to be. So that can be either a pro or a con based on the costs of living here in Utah. Utah has a ton of land that is state and federally owned, so it can't be developed currently. And that causes an issue with us building. We don't have all the acreage that, say, Texas has, where they can just slap down 5,000 homes in a huge plot of land that gets sold. We don't have that availability here. We have small little subdivisions that pop up where someone sells off 5, 10, 20 acres of land, and then they develop that. In most of the areas, it's like that. However, there are areas where they can definitely do more building. And there are some areas that are super, super hot right now. Pro number one, and this is something I find very, very cool of living in Utah, and that's the national parks and the mountains that we have are amazing. So in Utah, we have the 5 amazing national parks are Arches National Park, and that's in Moab. Bryce Canyon National Park, and that's in Bryce, Utah. We have Canyonlands National Park. We have Capitol Reef National Park, and then Zion National Park. We also have the Bonneville Salt Flats, which I'm planning to go out to. They have this video that I've seen on YouTube with someone paddleboarding down like a canal in this gorgeous blue water. Apparently you're not supposed to do that, and so I don't know if that's real, but it looks amazing. And then we have Goblin Valley, and Goblin Valley is super, super cool. And then there's a ton of other places for you to explore like that. Con number 2 of living in Utah is going to be the very, very strict alcohol rules, laws that we have here. So you're not going to be able to buy alcohol on Sundays or on holidays because the state-run liquor stores are closed and they don't sell it at the gas station or grocery store. So you're going to have that be an issue. The state-run liquor stores you're going to have to go to for your wine for greater than 3.2% beer, and then any sort of hard alcohol that you're looking for, like Jack Daniels or vodka or something like that. At restaurants, they can't make mixed drinks within a certain distance of children or people under the age. When we first moved here, we went to a Chili's in Riverton, and when we got there, it was pretty busy, so they asked us where we wanted to sit, and we said first available, so they sat us in the bar area. Well, they have the nice bar that you normally see at a Chili's in that area, but there's nobody there making drinks at all. The lady that was making mixed drinks was doing it back around the corner. And so that was kind of odd for us moving here that they did that. But so you're going to see stuff like that, or they're going to have some sort of like guard thing up so that people can't see them make drinks. But overall, you can get whatever you want to get to drink. You just might not have them make it in front of you. Utah also has the lowest DUI limit in the nation at 0.05. And while this is not really a con, because really you shouldn't be drinking and driving at all, but just know that it has the lowest legal limit anywhere. So I'm not sure how much you can drink. I don't even know if that allows you to drink one drink in an hour or if you have to drink a half a drink, but you can figure that out for yourself. Pro number 2 of living in Utah. This is the best reason to live in Utah, I think, and this is the reason that I absolutely love living here, and that's the great outdoors. All the hiking that you can do, the fishing, fly fishing, hunting, kayaking, paddleboarding, snow skiing, snowboarding, all the winter sports that you can do, snowmobiling, snowshoeing, cross country skiing, pretty much anything you want to be able to do in the snow. We do have the greatest snow on earth here in the state of Utah. I absolutely agree with that statement. You can do boating, you can water ski, you can do pretty much anything you want to do on lakes and rivers and streams. So we have different rapids here as well. Mountain climbing is supposed to be really, really popular here. Camping is awesome. We've been camping here twice. I just went camping about a month ago to Moab when we had the eclipse that was happening, and we camped there. Amazing place to camp. Wasn't super, super cold, but it was fun. You can go 4x4ing, which is my favorite thing to go do. I have a Jeep and I take that out and go 4-wheeling all the time, but you can do that in Moab. You can do that really anywhere in Utah where you can find dirt, which is pretty much everywhere. So there's different trails that you can do, and that's super fun. There really isn't anything that you can't do in the outdoors unless it requires an ocean, because we're landlocked and we don't have an ocean. Con number 3 is you're going to really need a car to get around unless you choose to live in the Salt Lake City metro area, because there they have the track system and the front runner train that you're going to be able to use to get around. Everywhere else, you're going to be either taking some buses or you're going to be taking a car or the heel toe express. So just know that if that's a thing for you that you need public transportation, then you're probably going to be moving to the Salt Lake City area. Otherwise, you can explore and we can talk about the different areas about what your needs are and wants and what you plan to do. Pro number 3 is Utah has some very diverse areas that you can live. So if you want to live in the St. George or Huracan area, that has a completely different feel, different vibe. Everything about it is different. They have more mild winters. They have more extreme summers. So year round, I would say that area feels more like a Palm Springs area, although I don't think it gets as cold there. But it's a great area to go. If you are traveling from anywhere else in Utah, you're going to be going through there if you're going to Las Vegas or to California on I-15, since it runs right through that area. But that is a great place to choose, and it's exploding in size. There are a ton of new homes being built in the St. George area just because of people wanting the more temperate climate, and they're trying to get out of other areas. Then you have Moab, which has a completely different feel and vibe as well. It's more like, I don't know, when I've been there a couple times now, it has more of like a hippie kind of vibe, I guess is the way I would put it. It leans more liberal than other parts of the state, but it's a really cool place. It's the side-by-side 4-wheel drive headquarters. There are a number of trails, a ton of places. So if you want to go off-roading, you're going to know what Moab is and go there. Then you have the Salt Lake City and Provo areas to pick from. And there's a wide range of home costs here and pricing and everything, and a different feel as well between Utah County and Salt Lake County. So we really need to talk about that depending upon where you want to live. And there are certain areas it's super cool because we have all the public transportation in that area. And so that's that. And then we have the northern Utah. I don't have a ton of experience in the northern Utah area. I've shown property up there a couple of times, but I don't know a lot about the area. Just know it has a different feel. It's more farmland than the other areas. So if you're wanting like a more acreage and that sort of thing. You're probably going to get more snow up there than you would in the other areas just because it's closer to Idaho and they seem to get a ton of snow every year. Con number 4 is Utah is a dry state. And I don't mean alcohol wise, I mean like temperature wise and climate wise. You're going to need to drink a lot more water. I find myself needing at least 64 ounces of water a day to feel like I'm not dehydrated. The more water you drink, the better, of course, for you. You're going to need to apply lotions more than you probably ever have in your life. You're going to need to use sunscreen. The first year that we were here, it didn't really feel like you needed sunscreen the way that the sun felt on us when we were at the lake. And we all got burned, so we realized that you need sunscreen. So that was a goof on us. And then you're also going to need chapstick. So your lips are going to get really, really dry here at certain times of the year. So you're going to have to invest in some sort of lip balm to keep that in check as well. The plus side of the dryness is it's not humid. So all through, once it starts getting warm in the springtime, all through fall, when it gets cold, it's really, really nice to sit outside and just relax because it's not humid. Pro number 4 of living in Utah, this was another great reason for us to relocate here, is our world-class ski resorts and snowboard resorts. So there are 15 for you to pick from. Let me show you what those are right now. Ski Utah. Here are our ski resorts. So we have Snowbird, we have Solitude, we have Sundance, we have Woodward, we have Alta, we have Beaver Mountain, Bryan Head, Brighton, Cherry Peak, Deer Valley, Eagle Point, Nordic Valley, Park City, Powder Mountain, and Snow Basin. So those are our current 15 ski resorts. They are building a new one called Mayflower out by Deer Valley and Park City, which will be super cool when that's open, because that's new trails and everything that no one will have skied on. And that's going to be one of the first world-class like ski resorts built in a number of years. I think it's like 40 years was the last time they built a really cool one. So that'll be awesome once that's all built out and everything. Sure, it'll be super expensive to buy a home there in the, $2 million range, but it'll be a great place to live if you can afford that. Love to help you on that area if you're looking at that. Con number 5 of living in Utah is we are landlocked. So this may not be a con for you. However, it is for people that move from the coasts. They seem to miss the ocean. When we first moved away from the ocean, because we lived in Southern California, I was 20 minutes away from the beach, and we moved to Nashville, and we missed the ocean, I think, a little bit when we were there after a number of years. I think we were there 8 years. We really didn't miss it as much anymore. We really didn't miss it like we thought we would. It was nice to go back and visit family and stuff and go to the beach, but it wasn't some big necessity. So it wasn't a major con, but it will be initially. You are about 10 hours away from Los Angeles area, so that's going to get you to the nearest beach. But we do have over 1,000 lakes, streams, ponds, stuff like that you could swim in. So if you want to get in the water, you definitely can do it here in Utah. However, you won't be doing it with waves like that. So it really depends on how you feel about that, if that's a major thing for you. But I feel like after a number of years, it won't be a bother. And that leads us into our last pro, which is pro number 5. We have all 4 seasons here in Utah. So my favorite season is summer, of course, because I get to do all my outdoor activities that I really, really like to do other than to ski, which I can do in the winter time. But the summertime, I feel like, is the best season of all. It lasts, from about mid-June through mid-September, I feel, where it's the best time. So you get June, July, August, September. So you get about 4 months of really, really nice weather here. We have something like 222 days of sunshine in the state of Utah. So you're going to get a ton of vitamin D and just sun, which is really helpful, I think, for your mind to have sunshine rather than it be gloomy and overcast every day. My least favorite, I guess, time of year would be winter, and that's just because it's cold. Other than that, I don't mind the snow necessarily. it's not really a bother to shovel what snow we get. I think we get somewhere between 24 to 48 inches of snow a year on average. So it's not really a big deal to shovel our driveway or shovel our walkways. And then we found out about salt this last year because growing up we never needed salt. So we found out what salt actually does, and it's super nice just to throw a couple handfuls of salt around the steps and then around your car, and then it all melts and keeps it nice. So that seems to work really good here. So if you can handle these pros and cons and you want to know more information about moving to Utah, whether that's in the St. George area, Moab, Salt Lake City, Provo, or the northern Utah area, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to talk to you about it. I can be reached via phone, via text, via email, whatever. Please reach out to me. Until next time, be rad.